So then, over the course of Team of the Season, we have seen some incredible midfielders. But the question is, who is the best? Is there any cheap underliers? And where does everybody rank prior to this? As you can imagine, as you can see as well, there isn't many that haven't got a Team of the Season so far that are not in this list. We're still missing Ligue 1, we're still missing La Liga and Serie A. Now, Ligue 1 is predominantly everybody's kind of hope and dreams to get an Mbappe. More than likely, I can see it already that Neymar gets a Team of the Season moments from Mixed League 3. But La Liga is going to follow with a Jude Bellingham, as always. But then Serie A has the hopes to bring some incredible midfielders. We will cover all of them more than likely in the Ultimate, which is about 4 weeks from now. And we'll go for all of them. But right now, we have got the best midfielders so far. Are you looking for coins to improve your team? Then you need to head over to lootbar.gg, the most reliable and the best coin service you can find. Also, they have incredible 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on lootbar.gg, make sure you are using JT11 to get 8% off coupon. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours, absolutely guaranteed. Also, with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below. Now we're going to start off with some of the best ones. Obviously, the big pairing, Rice and also Rodri, are going to be two massive cards that go into this. They are incredible Team of the Seasons, and it's quite funny if you look at them side by side. They are practically the same card. They've just got different playstyle pluses. I think Rodri has a 4-5 and Rice has a 4-4 from memory, and I think Rice is 6-1, Rodri is 6-3. Other than that, stat-wise, they're very, very similar across the board. Both of them incredible. Both of them have got a massive price tag on them as well. But we have got the likes of a Hullet with them as well, and then also the likes of the Team of the Year, Bellingham, Bonmati, and Putellas. Now, they are all in their own rights incredible. We do have some that are just that little bit more expensive than the others. Obviously, with Hullet, he's going to be around about 10 mil from memory. I will double check because he is, again, another one that is just in that obscene category. You just cannot get better. Hullet's coming in at 14.75. That is crazy. Bellingham at 3. Everybody's starting to kind of come down now as well, which is always nice. And we saw that, well, we knew this was going to happen with Team of the Season because you can't have 15 to 30 in the first 2 weeks of 92 and above players with triple play style pluses and not have some effect on the overall top market. Then we look at somebody like a Patrick Vieira. I still think he's absolutely up there. And I will say right this second, just as a kind of disclaimer, there'll be a lot of people in the S plus and S. Because until we get that kind of whole vibe of every single player, there is just going to be an amount of players that are very, very good in the game. There will be some that are less than others. Obviously, when we look a bit further down, you kind of look at somebody like a Gerrard. I don't personally think he's great. I wouldn't necessarily. I'll probably get rid of the B plus, to be honest. I don't think many people even hit that level anymore. But it comes down to the factor of what you hold most important. Is it the playstyle pluses? Is it still the 5-5, the 4-5? Is it stats? Or is it a combination of all of them? Because I do think the triple playstyle pluses have massively enhanced some of these cards. Like a Douglas Luiz, wherever he's gone, as just a normal card is phenomenal, especially being a free card. Now, obviously, with the Intercept, the Travella, and the Pinged Pass, you've got that multiple options compared to somebody like, say, a Pedri. I think Pedri was before the double play. He might even have the double. Yeah, Tiki Taka and Incisive. Again, very different cards in their own element. They're not necessarily meant to be the same. But when we look at it now, it's like, well, who would you prefer? A 92 Pedri with Tiki Taka and Incisive, or a Douglas Luiz with stats that just range across the board now? That kind of just puts Pedri in the lower end, and Douglas Luiz much better. We have a Menu. Love this card. We've now eventually got him, obviously with the help of the bonus objective for 3000 XP, but he's got himself the long ball, the bruiser, and the finesse shot with, again, stats that are just beautifully up there. Now, it's going to be very difficult to kind of go and put who should be where in kind of like the S plus and S, because it's going to be a very much, he's not quite as good as Rice or Rodri, but then is he better than, for instance, a Yaya Toure? I still think Yaya is incredible in his own right. But is he as meta as what we can imagine the next Yaya is going to be? Or is he as meta as, say, a Rice now? I probably actually prefer Rice. I'd prefer a Hullet over everyone, to be honest. I think that's quite an easy one. So does that mean that Yaya now drops into that S+? And that is kind of the opinion based. You can easily say that some of the players like Marquez, is he now an S+ still? Is he really going to be in that category with the likes of these team of the seasons? Now, in terms of a centre-back, I think he's got more of an option. He definitely poses that centre-back threat. Whereas a CDM, his anticipate and dead ball with decent stats is not going to be in comparison to a Rice or Rodri. Is it going to be in comparison to a Ruben Loftus-Cheek? Is it going to be compared to, I'm trying to think of another CDM, a Stanway? When we look at Stanway's stats in comparison, nowhere near. Plus the triple play style plus, Marquez only has the dead ball plus as well. That's where we got to take acceleration type, we've got to take body type, how they actually move in the game, because that's going to be a big factor as well. If we were just going to chuck in some names for an S+ quite easily, I think there is definitely the top end sort of cards are very simple to put in. Schneider as well. I see a lot of people mention him, so I don't think he's quite underrated. But if you've got this card and just chucked him in your club, think again with him, because he is absolutely brilliant. Like, genuinely, this is a surprising card because I saw him at the base for 88 rated, decent enough. Like, he's gonna get a good upgrade. Most cards, once they hit the 94, 96, 97, they tend to have an ability. But genuinely, at this 94, the 5-5 on him is absolutely insane. We then have Musiala, quite easily, even Modric. Modric's team of the season is just crazy. Goretzka can be thrown into that list. I'd even say Foden. I think he could be an argument, but I really do think he is phenomenal. Havertz can definitely go in the list. Then, if I'm looking a bit further down, Matthias, obviously. I don't think anybody will have two qualms with that. Ramirez will go with Yaya Toure. I think both of them are on that same sort of level now where a lot of the icons and heroes, especially like a Lampard, a Makalele, a Rivaldo, could do with that upgrade to step up, and it's what they do. The 7 weeks of just relentless cards that are actually playing, and then at the end, we get the Euros as an extra bonus this year, but normally it'd be shapeshifter icons, shapeshifter heroes, then we go into footies and everybody just gets 99s everywhere. I have also chucked Palmer in here as well, because as much as he is a right mid on the game, I do prefer him in cam personally. It's down to your kind of preference for him, but you could argue between the two of them. I'd probably now be looking more of an S for the actual cam role, and it'd kind of be the same for Odegaard and Bruno. Bruno, unfortunately, I don't know if he's even going to get an upgrade at this point, because it's just woeful. It genuinely is woeful. Like, he's got one win, so if we beat, oh no, in fact no, we can't. It's already done, I'm pretty sure, unless Newcastle wasn't a thing. I think we lost. No, I don't know if I think that one was gone. So if we are managing to score 3 and win our final game this weekend against Arsenal, then it could happen. But at this moment in time, I'm pretty sure the Newcastle game got postponed, so he still has the chance, but they've got to beat Arsenal. I mean, if the 4-0 to Palace, or 4-0 to Palace didn't say anything, I'm not holding much of a hope. If he does get the 96, I'd then consider him for the upgrade, but we've got to get there first. We look at the likes of Beckham. I think nowadays he's definitely down on the bottom of the list compared to a lot of these centre mids. Still a very good card, and it's what I always say with these tier lists, especially when you look at these bottom cards, it's not necessarily that they are inherently terrible or they are completely unusable. I don't pretty much use any of them in there, because if I was going to show you like an 84 Foden at this point, fair enough, like that is not going to be usable, but you could go with any of these lists and they could still give you something. They are just worse than the top category. Just so you know. Zalem gonna go in there. De Jong, I'd go A+, I think. I think he's still got a bit about him. Whether we do get a team of the season, La Liga could be a very interesting one with a lot of their centre mids or midfielders. Bellingham is going to be the forefront, obviously. Valverde is a must. That card looks like it would be incredible. Essien, I'd probably go one above still. I think he's still got it. Kaka is obviously into that S category. I don't think anybody can question that, to be honest. Keebler, nah, I'm going to go at the bottom. Kimmich, I like the Kimmich card. He kind of reminds me of Kroos, Both of them today are going to be finding out if one of them gets that triple play star plus. It's got to be one of them. So we will see either a Kimmich with a triple or Kroos, and then if they do win the final, they will get their final upgrade and a 5-star, 5-star. Realistically, Kroos has still got a chance of getting a team of the season. It's not been confirmed or denied yet, whereas we know Kimmich is not getting one. Now, Lampard can go next to Gerrard because they are both the same. Doesn't matter what promo they're in. Whenever they get an upgrade, they're very similar in themselves. Loftus-Cheek, I actually quite like him. He's a little bit underrated, but he's not quite at that level. Again, another one that I'm pretty sure, is not getting an upgrade, which is a shame because I made him my evolution. But we move on. McAllister, I'd go A+. I think he's kind of, once we get all of the team of the seasons, he might drop down again, but he's definitely in that medium tier of team of the seasons at the moment. Savic, I'd probably go the same as well. In-game, fantastic, but he's not quite at that top level for me. Gonna go with her at A+. She's still got an absolute world beater in her. Makalele is very similar to Essien, but I will go one below. JJ is probably about there as well. Same as Park. It's crazy to see how quickly them cards became irrelevant. Like the Galazzo promo in itself, the 2 weeks, was phenomenal. After all of the content we had with Future Star, with Foot Birthday, then going into the Galazzo just changed everything. Everybody had hero and icons, and literally it was like a snap of the finger. Once we got to the end of the live team of the season and into the Prem, everybody had Prem teams. Like, it is mental how quickly that happened. Palacios. Now, he was a brand new SBC a few days ago. 92 rated, 87 was his previous, 259. Slide tackle, long ball, and obviously ping pass. Decent card. Like, he's probably... I mean, he's got to go there, really. If we're going off kind of like the Savic and the McAllister, he's about that same sort of level. We've got Bernardo Silva. I still love this card. I am gutted that he didn't get anything, but it just means more than likely he'll be the first one to get a Euros card, I can imagine. That's normally how you got to think of it. When you look at the likes of a Bernardo or anybody else that missed out, for instance, Euro-based ones... Now, I've just said that to myself, and every single European player has just gone. So, say if I was to go Bundesliga, we obviously know that we've obviously got quite a few cards in there. If it was to go for the golds, who has not had a card that is genuinely in... If I can find golds on this website. So if we look at someone like a Kimmich, if he didn't have a road to the final, then maybe we could have seen an SBC. Someone like a De Ligt, it's going to be a perfect one for the Euros. If then we go a bit further down... Trapp, goalkeeper, might not, but we'll see. Brandt's going to be another... No, Brandt got a team of the season, didn't he? Yeah, no, he didn't. Oh, I thought he did. Brandt's going to be another one then. Again, you got to think of who didn't get a team of the season because they're going to be the first ones to get the upgrade, and then we go into footage for everybody else. Whether we get a Shapeshifter in between that, I really hope so, because Shapeshifter was a fantastic promo at the end of the game, especially when you're looking at like a 96 Trent. That's going to be another one that will be banging 4-1. Rivaldo and Socrates, I'd go Rivaldo one down. I still like Socrates as a cam, just a bit under Kaka in my opinion. Simons, still think he's so good in the game. Szoboszlai would go one under. Tchouaméni, I still think holds his value. Even though he was quite expensive in this, I'd still think he's definitely up there for a level of card. Like, he was 1.5 mil. It's a very high-end card. Verman can go one down. Xabi Alonso at this point, it was a great upgrade, but he's not going to come above most of these CDMs, to be honest. I think he's definitely up there in a CDM category, but when we look at the whole midfielders, I'd probably prefer most over him, to be honest with you. Xhaka, unfortunately, they did him so dirty with him, because we got the Team of the Year Honourable at 90, and then they give him a 92. I get that he got the triple play style plus, which is fair enough because he got slide tackle, anticipate, and incisive. But the rating needed just to be that little bit higher. Get him away from his 90. He only got a triple upgrade on every stat. It needs to be more. Fred, I'd happily go as an underrated centre mid. Fantastic in the mid. He is not going to take over the Matthias spots or anything like that. But for a cheaper squad, brilliant. Rolfo, I'd still put her up there, to be honest. Would I with the team of the seasons? I want to say I would, because she is brilliant. And failing that as a left back, just putting her left back, she's top. I'd still really like her in game. you could argue... Could you argue? No, you can't. No, I made the rules. Sauer would go one down. Zico... Well, who would I prefer, him or Kaka? Played with both extensively, and I must admit I'd be leaning towards Kaka, but I don't know if that's a nostalgic vibe or anything. I feel like both of them deserve that spot. Bobby Charlton obviously stays in there. Conte is incredible. Even Santos. Santos is such a cheap card at 94. A very, very, very good upgrade. 106,000. She has got the 5-5. She is 5-3, so got the agility balance in an abundance. Good shooting. Physicality's up there. Very underrated in how cheap she truly is. Pirlo, I think, has got to be in the S still. Abili's got to be there as well. Royce was a little bit of a letdown. Oberdorf has got to go up there. Royce was a bit unfortunate that he came out with 5 other cams. Simons, Musiala, Wirtz, and himself. And I'm probably missing one there somewhere. But he is so unfortunate that he didn't get the upgrade on his own, or when he gets an end of an era, which more than likely is going to be footies now. If he does win that Champions League as well, I feel like they'll give him a 98 or 99. I genuinely, if they win the Champions League and he gets, like, if he's playing, if he gets a goal, he will be a 98 end of an era easily. And if they don't, I think they've missed out on an opportunity. But that is going to be my list for the midfielders. Let me know down below, agree, disagree, who would you move up, who would you move down? It's always a work in progress, and I do check the comments when I do this again, and we can kind of go through them as we go through the list. But apart from that, make sure you like and subscribe.